thank you so much, everyone, for joining me here today with unwavering hope and positive vision to make a meaningful impact on the world. This is Dr. Shiba Sultan Hasnan, CEO of WLC. I welcome you all on 7th August 2026 at our new Nurturing Trust Ethical AI Friday series by WLC and GEAIC. At WLC, our vision is clear to reimagine, redesign, and refine the future with AI. And today's topic is the urgency towards the great leader, agentic AI, and beyond automation. This is a round table and it will be moderated by me and Mr. Abdul Mubin. Our esteemed panelist for this particular roundtable would be Mr. Misbah Khan, Mr. Muhammad Waqar Aslam, Mr. Nizar Al Turki, Miss Roberta Nicholas, Dr. Sangeeta Sahi, and Miss Suzanne Al Khanem. I would request Mr. Abdul Mubin to kindly introduce himself and start the session with the opening remark. Over to you, Mr. Abdul Mubin.
Thank you, Dr. Shiba. It's nice seeing you after a long time
Thank
and good to be here. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. Before we begin, a brief word on where I'm coming from into this conversation. I have known Shiba for quite some time, and I know the brilliance and exemplary track record she is carrying forward and helping. She is always helping in whatever form she can. And uh, this session really shapes the questions that I'll be asking today from my experience, which sits at the intersection of enterprise transformation, portfolio governance and leadership, PMO governance, cybersecurity, data management, AI governance. I have done it all over more than 20 years. I have had the opportunity to lead complex transformation programs across Middle East, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE, and Saudi. I serve as a judge on the PMI PMO Global Awards bench, and I also sit at the Responsible AI Institute and HBR, that's Harvard Business Review Advisory Council. Now, I would be more keen on today's session because it's quite interesting and quite thought provoking. What particularly interests me about agentic AI is that we are moving beyond systems that simply assist people or automate tasks. We are beginning to design digital agents that can reason like we do or more intelligently than us, decide, coordinate, and cut across enterprise workflows. Now, it's very important from a governance perspective. I have only one thing which is very, very important, which would be at the bedrock of this session and also moving forward. The organizations that win with agentic AI won't be the ones who move fastest. Pace, velocity, is not the fulcrum or the pivot that can give you measurable outcomes or that can provide you the benefits, realize the benefits that you outline in the design. No, it is only the ones that will be governed best. So here governance has a very important role to play when we talk about agentic AI environment and across the enterprise landscape, small, medium, and enterprise business agents. Now, let's start without much ado. Let's start, and I would really be having a great pleasure in welcoming the distinguishing experts and participants joining us from around the world. Uh, Today's discussion will explore more about the opportunities and challenges from multiple perspectives, including enterprise leadership, responsible AI, digital transformation, resilience, which is very important when we talk to agents, how resilient they could be and how resilient would could be, mapping against each other, healthcare and cybersecurity. Let us begin by examining the governance foundations required for trustworthy agentic AI. Now, I would like to start with Mr. Misbah. Um, Mr. Misbah, what we believe, and I strongly believe, organizations are eager to adopt agentic AI. Yet many begin with technology before considering governance. Like governance comes as a later thought, as an afterthought. Of course, in mature organizations, governance does play a very important role, but then it always comes as an afterthought. I've seen in my engagements in data privacy and security, it never comes as a, privacy as a design, security as a design. It always comes as an afterthought. So, from a responsible AI perspective, what governance principles organizations establish before allowing AI agents to make autonomous decisions? Can you give your 2 cents about this, please?
Yes, sure. Thank you so much, Abdul Mubin. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, and thank you, Dr. Shiba. And yes, it's I think before we talk about the giving like AI more autonomy, we first need to talk about the human responsibility. And for me, the first principle is very simple. The more autonomy we give to AI, the clearer human accountability need to become. An AI agent mostly may analyze informations, communicate with customer, recommend actions, or even take certain actions, different action independently. But if something goes wrong, an organization cannot simply say the AI methods their decision. There must always be a human owner and a clear line for accountability. But the second principle is clear boundaries. We need to define what an AI agent can do independently, but what's require human approval and what system and data it can access and where it must stop. But and we recently everyone see in the news, I hope recently saw an interesting example of why these boundaries matter. During a cyber security evaluation, the open AI, it's come from open AI. The open AI also don't know from where the attacks is come going. And recently the open AI, an AI agent was operating towards particular objective in a controlled environment, but while pursuing that objective, it went beyond the intended boundaries and gained external access, and its actions affected Hugging Face infrastructure.
Yeah.
Recently, they said, and the Hugging Face, they don't know from where the attacks is coming. They involve the FBI in this thing. And the FBI, after 6, 7 days, they understand that from where the attacks is coming. When they discuss with the OpenAI don't know. When they check everything, they said, "Oh, it's coming from OpenAI." But for me, the lesson is not about blaming OpenAI or Hugging Face. Actually, these incidents are valuable because the entire industry can learn from them. But the governmental governance lesson, especially, is that the AI agent can become very effective at the achieving the objective we give it, while the path it takes may not always be the path we expected. So we should not only ask that can this AI agent accomplish the task? We also need to ask what else could this agent to do while trying to accomplish that task. This is why permissions, access control, monitoring, and human oversight are so important. And the next principle is transparency and traceability. If an AI agent takes an important action, we should be able to go back and understand what did it do, what informations did it use, why did it take the actions, and who was responsible for overseeing it. And finally, we need to continuous monitoring. Currently I'm working on this tool as well. The governance, especially governance, cannot be a policy document that we create once and then forget. AI system change, data change, the environments around them change. Organizations need to continuously test, monitor, and review these systems. So I like in just one line, if I explain, before giving AI autonomy, give it boundaries. Before giving AI authority, establish accountability. And this responsible AI is not about to stopping innovations, but it is about making sure that as technology become more powerful, human remain protected, responsibility remain clear, and technology continues to serve peoples.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I've seen out of my experience in the last engagement, what happened, because in cybersecurity we say the weakest link is the human being, right? You can have best tools available. If a disgruntled employee or somebody wants to do some mishap, nobody would trace it. Now, in AI, the governance should, I believe, should also apply in terms of what the remote or the in-house desktop carries. How does your employee, if you give him a task, understanding that okay, it has to be churned out quickly, he might use on his local desktop some, and then upload confidential organization information to chat gpt, claude, or whatever llm he would like to. So that's again a guardrail which companies are finding difficult to see how to do it. People do it, yes,
Yeah.
and especially when you're working on remote, you might have
Yes.
a well controlled device, but then you have another device on your right hand side, and you can just churn out all the information. And Mr. Misbah, what are the common governance mistakes organizations make when they adopt AI? Because adoption, everyone wants to adopt, but there are common governance mistakes that you would come across and you would have seen in your experience.
In a few years experience, especially in Saudi Arabia, I think one of the biggest mistake is that organizations become excited about AI and immediately ask, what can we automate? Especially my last year experience was with a very big company CEO. They all the time they ask that what can we automate? And he asked, look at the company, what we can automate. And I think the better question is not this, because the better question, what should we automate? There are two different questions. That just because an AI system can perform task does not mean we should immediately give it full autonomy. The second mistake is treating responsible AI is only a technology, IT responsibility, but it is
Absolutely.
not. Yeah, and AI governance require different peoples around the table, and especially with my experience here in Saudi, they only hire the AI engineer for everything, the AI solution architect, the AI, like for for everything, but it's not the same case. And AI governance require different peoples around the tables, technology, business leadership, or cyber security, legal, compliance, risk, and importantly, the peoples who actually understand the process and the people who may be affected by the AI system. And another common mistake is focusing too much on the AI model while ignoring the data and the process around it. Especially
Absolutely.
in the bank sector, they are taking care, but they, the in Saudi especially, I worked with the banks, and there is the Sama implement these things. Otherwise, they use the external tool but if they are not implementing these things, then the data breaches will be coming a lot, and we can have a very powerful AI models, but if the data is poor, biased, incomplete, or outdated, and you can still get poor decisions. And if the business process itself, is broken, adding AI may simply allow us to make same mistakes faster and at a much larger scale. But another mistake is, giving AI agents too much access too early. And most of the peoples we are doing the same currently nowadays. With agentic AI, we should follow the principle minimum necessary autonomy and give the agents only the permissions and access it actually, they needs to complete the task. But and expand those permissions only when we have evidence that it is safe to do so or not, And perhaps the biggest governance mistake is waiting until something goes wrong before thinking seriously about governance. And
Yes,
governance should
absolutely.
start at the beginning, yeah. Not after deployments. Here, one my experience, people are thinking about recently. I have done one AI agent projects, especially as secretary, but they, implement after the projects, the AI governance stuff. They are thinking right now governance. But if they start the governance at the start beginning, not after the development, certainly not after an incident, and sometimes organizations think governance will slow down innovations, but I actually see it differently. Good governance give organizations the confidence to innovate because ultimately organizations don't just need AI system that are intelligent or autonomous. They need AI system that people can trust. And for me, the recently last week I have done meeting with one CEO. He told me And Saudi, mostly companies not trust by AI, and they said their trust by us, is a human. That's why for me that is what responsible AI is really about. Not less innovation, but better and more responsible innovation.
Absolutely. I can tell you about my latest experience in December, last December in Saudi. I was deploying PDPL in one of the large organizations, and while doing so, we got an notification from Sadaya for a major data breach. It was very surprising. It was all in sandbox. We did not understand how it happened. And then we came to know someone in AI had automated ROPA, which should not be automated, right? We said, how come you can automate ROPA? And then most of the data was out. Yes, of course.
Oh,
It governance has to be across all work streams. You cannot have silos. You cannot have governance on one particular work stream and leave rest. As orphans, governance has to be across the board, thought of well, and CEO has to commit and mandate for that. It ultimately comes from top. It has to be a top to bottom exercise. Thank you very much, my dear friend. Thank you. I would
you're
like to
welcome.
move to Mr. Mohammed Waqar Aslam. Waqar Sahab, how are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good.
Okay, we know when governance is established in whatever form today, yes, it's in the primacy. People don't really understand governance. They see it as a watchdog, something that brings in delays. Always sales guys and customer experience guys who are into customer experience, they say we are slowed down because governance, adds up layers upon layers. Now, organizations also have to operationalize AI efficiency, map it with governance. There has to be a very good marriage in terms of a trade-off, and governance has to be fit for purpose. It cannot be a very huge bottleneck. My question is, what technical foundations are essential for deploying agentic AI securely and successfully across enterprise environments? The security, again, governance, people hate security guys. Oh, yeah, they have DLP. I cannot send an email out. And I also have to, and it takes a lot of time, it delays. And how do you think this we can map trade off between security and successful implementation in enterprise environments for agentic AIs?
Yeah. So thank you for the question. And then before answering, I will say one thing, that security and cybersecurity, those things, when we implement by design, by from the first day, then we don't need to do it after. Like say Misbah is already told us that when you apply the governance after you build something, you build the platform and you apply the governance after it, then there is no point. It will take more time now after when your platform is ready, and then you apply cybersecurity and then you apply the governance. So it's better you design it securely from the first day, not after building it. So it, and then cybersecurity and the security guys, they don't waste, like they don't make it slow, they make it fast in term mode. If you develop the application and then you find out that there is a bug, so it will cost more time if you
Absolutely.
build it from the beginning. Like you secure it by design, you secure it from the day first, then you don't need to do it after after you develop complete platform. Then you need to check each and everything. There will be thousands of lines of the code, and then once you are doing it on the go, on the same time, then it will be on the same time. It doesn't need to be done after the everybody finish, then security guy come and do the audit. So this should be before the before you start. It should be in the design, by secure by design, I think I can say like this. For the to deploy the agentic AI securely across the enterprise organization, I think there are several, but I will point out four major foundations that I think is important before we after the governance. First is the trusted data architecture. So the trusted data architecture, agent must access like accurate and governed data while represent like with the respecting the privacy, data residency, and the user permissions. So this is the first foundation we need to take care. Second is the identity and security. So every agent should have its own identity. What it do, we can trace it to it which agent did it. Like We give the limited permission, short-lived data credentials, like it should operate. It's in the secure environment. We cannot give them the open environment. And then we need to think about like chatbot in those things, those applications. We have to make it prompt injection. We have to secure against the prompt injection, so nobody can inject anything that we don't require, or get the output about the infrastructure or anything through the AI, and it will not go. And then any unauthorized actions, it will not allow to the agent to do it, like only limited access, limited authorization to do, not everything it can do. And then control integration. So control integration against should connect to the enterprise system only through the approved API that we develop for itself, tools, or any high risk any high risk transactions like financial transactions, like production changes or external communication should be required the human approval. So without human, it cannot purchase anything and go to the Amazon or anywhere it do, or any changes in the production environment should go through the human. So there we have the somebody reliable who see everything and responsible to approve what the AI agent is doing. It's not blindly doing anything, but it hallucinate and start doing it. And then observability and AI adoption. So organization must be able to see what data and agent is accessed while making the decisions. So what outcome it produce. Agent should continuously evaluate it for accuracy. It will not hallucinate, and we need to see the security, cost, unexpected behavior. So we have all full control and observe what it's doing. And then we need to put audit, rollback options, and then kill switch. If it go wrong, we can kill it at the same time. So
Okay,
this
great.
is the important point. I think the AI agent is not simply a chatbot. It's a digital workforce identity. So it need defined role, limited authority, supervision, and accountability.
Perfect. Now, we talked about this. Uh, on a lighter note, I would believe that agents would now need to have Emirates ID or Ikama, because they can take this decisions on their own. Accountability, you have to find out who was the one, who was the culprit. Now, how does this interplay in cloud infrastructure? When we talk about access control, which is very important, where you have either SIAM or IAM, client identity access management or identity access management platform. And how does this cloud infrastructure vis-a-vis cybersecurity, when we talk about identity access management, let's say STC or do, when we access the platform through the phone as a user experience. So how do you see this interplays in agentic agent deployment in this such kind of a scenario?
Yeah, for the cloud infrastructure, I can say the cloud provide you scalability, like resilience service, and it ability to deploy in any region. If you are in KSA, so we can you can have your own like nearest cloud to you, that we have our infrastructure, so you can access this high speed. So no, you're not accessing
Okay.
anything from across like other regions and other side. Then the ability of the your you can say the data access, it will be speed will be slow. So cloud provide you resilience, and then you can deploy anywhere, any region, and it is scalable. In security side, cyber security price provide you trust. If you create the application or platform, and the cyber security works on the zero trust methodology, so it trusts nobody. That's why it need to be trusted. Like, so this is the one thing.
Perfect.
And in the then AI operations, like I can say that if you have AI operations provide you control automation, like testing, deploying, monitoring, incident response, you can achieve it like from the AI operations, those things, it will be there. In simple terms, like a cloud provide you scalability, cybersecurity provide you trust, and AI operations provide you the control that you need to have on the platform. That but like you have to have a control on the things like this. So why like when this three like major capabilities work together, organization can move from the isolated AI experiment to secure, scalable, accountable enterprise AI agent.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It was very insightful, good learning. Thank you, Ms. and Wakar, both. So over to you now, Dr. Shiba. Take it forward from here. Thank you.
So much, Mr. Abdul Nadeem, Misbah, and Waqar. Great enlightening talk about governance. But I would request once again Misbah and Waqar to introduce yourself because our audience is willing to know more about you. So then I will proceed towards the next session. So, Mr. Misbah, over to you.
Sure, yeah. I'm Misbah, and from 11 years, I working as a data scientist, data science field, and AI consultant, AI solution architect, and also recently, 1 year ago, I started working as a AI governance, responsible AI field, and yeah, this is my short intro.
Thank you so much, Misbah, and over to you, Waqar.
Yeah, my name is Mohammad Wakar. I am AI operations manager in Dubai Divan Architects. I have more than 17 years of experience in infrastructure, cybersecurity, and now I'm towards the AI solutions. So my focus is on the secure automation and secure AI adoption, implement practical and responsible AI technologies within an organization that help organizations to move forward in the AI direction.
That's great. Really thankful to all of you